Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Do you listen to me correctly? Good morning, Carla Fresia. Good morning, María Belén. One second, please, and I begin the class. Carla, simplemente comentarte que ya se me ha hecho llegar el vídeo en el cual, pues, es decir, no es un problema tuyo, es simplemente que yo no, bueno, pues no podía acceder a él, este tipo de cosas que a veces pasan, ¿eh? O sea que así que hacéis bien si en algún momento, y ahora que voy a empezar a corregir la tarea número 2, por ejemplo, hay algo que os pongo, está bien hecha la presentación, en el caso de que hubiese vídeo, que no va a ser el caso, pero no he podido acceder al vídeo, o no he visto el vídeo, o no ha subido el vídeo. Entonces, cuando ocurren ese tipo de cosas, sí que hacédselo saber a la tutora o directamente a mí, porque esto puede, o sea, puede pasar. ¿Entendido? Entonces, una vez que ya tengo acceso, Carla, volveré a revisar bueno, pues la nota y consiguientemente todo lo demás. Quería comentártelo porque bueno, el jueves mismo he tenido acceso a ello y este fin de semana ya empiezo con vuestra tarea 2 a corregirla. Entiendo que ya tengo corregido parte, pero no he subido las notas. Entiendo que el martes ya me habrá dado tiempo a verlo todo. ¿Entendido? So, sí, Carla, simplemente que a veces, es decir, a Carla y a todos, a ver, igual tengo, pues, tengo diversas asignaturas y entonces de cada una de las asignaturas, pues imaginad que tengo, en este caso, pues vosotros seráis igual 45 vídeos y 45 vídeos de segundo y de marketing. Entonces hay ocasiones excepcionales, pero ocurren en las que puede haber algún tipo de disfunción, en que me llega la presentación sin vídeo o vídeo sin presentación. Entonces, yo si no pongo nada en las observaciones o nada referente a la evaluación, no, es decir, significa que todo ha ido bien, pero normalmente, sí, claro, normalmente no, si veo que no hay o presentación o vídeo, en el caso de que se necesitan ambas cosas, pues lo hago saber, lógicamente, o que no he tenido acceso a ello o lo que sea. Entonces, una vez que vuestra tutora o a mí misma, chicos, es decir, me lo podéis decir en un foro: oye, Raquel, mira, que me parece que no has podido acceder, por favor, decídmelo, que no tengo ningún problema, ¿vale? Es decir, a veces pasa, por ejemplo, también a mí me ha pasado que yo había dado por cerrada la corrección de la tarea 1, pero hace ya 3 o 4 semanas, y mi TAP, que es, bueno, pues la persona que te dice esto pasa o tal, o el tutor, pues bueno, yo simplemente por las razones que fueren y que ocurren, pues a veces, pues yo no había visto los de como 7 alumnos, pero porque no tenía acceso. Entonces, bueno, que cuando veáis que existe algún tipo de... bueno, pues que no, que vosotros sabéis que lo habéis subido, que lo habéis mandado, que lo, pues bueno, no tengáis ningún problema en hacérselo saber al tutor o a mí misma directamente. ¿Entendido? So, good morning, everybody. As I have told you before, I'm going to begin to correct the task number 2 during this. I have been correcting the task number 2 during this, or the second task during this week, and I think on Monday, on Tuesday, I will upload all the marks. So today, in today's class, we are going to begin the unit 4. Okay, the unit 4 is about traveling, but more concretely about traveling, and not only the processes that you, or the words or the expressions that you need when you are traveling, but also some implications or some important ideas we have to take into account when we are traveling, and more concretely traveling for business. Also in the unit 4, apart from different points, they make a special importance to the present perfect, and concretely to the temporal expressions you can find with the simple past, or you can find with the present perfect. So I'm going to make a special incidence also in these main ideas. So let's begin. I'm going, as I usually do, to introduce the class. One second. Okay. Okay, so we are in the session 9th. Today is an average class, so it's only 1 hour. But apart from these 9th classes, remember that we have been different classes where we have done a double class, and we will have. Remember also that all the documents you have in Moodle, and sometimes in some occasions I upload more documents or exercises with those documents that probably we haven't seen during the class, but have a kind of contact or a kind of relation, straight or direct relation with the aspects, topics, ideas we have been treating, dealing with during the class. So in today's class, we are going to begin the unit 4 of your Dexway platform. I know that some of you have already finished the platform, finished all the exercises in the Dexway platform. Si habéis terminado las tareas o las unidades de la plataforma Dexway que se ha dado en varias personas, es decir, ya sabéis que tenemos desde este año tenemos una ficha con todas las cosas que el alumno, lo teníamos antes pero de otra manera, ahora lo tenemos mucho más especificado. Es decir, en esa ficha yo veo pues todo lo que habéis entregado, es decir, imaginad, hay algunas personas que ya han entregado Dexway, que tenéis hasta febrero, o sea que en ese sentido no tengáis ningún problema. Y yo veo, pues ha entregado la plataforma o ha terminado la plataforma Dexway y ha entregado las 2 tareas y las 2 están corregidas, por ejemplo. Y además ha estado en 2 clases en directo. Bueno, pues todo eso me sale de manera correcta, pero cuidado, si en algún momento, es decir, digo lo mismo que antes he comentado con el caso de Carla, correcta, pero bueno, hay a veces más casos. Si veis que, pues Raquel, yo sí que te he mandado Dexway, es decir, si queréis además, aunque a mí me salga, decírmelo, sentiros libres. Oye Raquel, he finalizado ya Dexway, de hecho alguno de vosotros me lo habéis dicho y os he dicho, no te preocupes, no me tienes que decir nada porque me aparece en la ficha. Pero bueno, estad atentos a esas cosas. Yo os lo digo desde la perspectiva de inglés. Si tenéis otras asignaturas, habrá algunos que sí, habrá otros que solo tienen inglés, que lo conozco también, pues bueno, cercioraros siempre de que el profesor ha podido o ha podido acceder o tiene recogido todo de manera correcta. Por lo tanto, hoy vamos a empezar la unidad 4 del tema o de la plataforma Dexway. Lo vais haciendo, creo que tenéis hasta finales de febrero para poder entregarla. Y si la habéis acabado, bueno, pues estupendo. Yo simplemente sigo explicando todo lo relacionado con cada uno de esos temas. Ya sabéis que hay 5 temas o 5 unidades, y today we are going to begin with the unit 4. So basically in this lesson or in this unit, we are going to talk about management, so organization, the different departments you have in your business or in a factory, so the different worker profiles that probably you need depending on this concrete department. And also a part of the lesson talks about businesses, so all the ideas or all the expressions you use when you are going to make a trip, an international trip, and also more ideas or more situations you can struggle with, or you can deal with, or you can face when you are in these situations. Obviously linked with the second task that you have already done or you are about to send me, as the task number 3 is related with the departments you have in your business and the kind of person or the kind of profile or the kind of qualifications or the kind of skills, personality, abilities, capabilities you need for this person. We are going to talk about what kind of profile, what kind of person you need for the different departments and for the different tasks or the different duties or the different topics this person is going to deal with every day. Apart from this, although, aunque ya lo he explicado en sesiones anteriores, we have to work with the present. Tell me, any question? Do you have any question, girls or boys? Okay, so the present perfect, so that we have already seen it, and concretely in this lesson they talk about the expressions like I have never or have you ever. Si recordáis en las entrevistas de trabajo o sobre todo cuando uno works in a human resources department, cuando uno trabaja en un departamento de recursos humanos or in administrative task, or you go to an interview, or you are the person who is going to be the interviewer. So many times you are going to use expressions like ever and never. So because when you are in interviews or when you are working with people or talking with co-workers, you are going to find questions like, have you ever worked in this kind of fields before? or have you ever experienced this kind of conflicts or situations in previous jobs, or have you ever taken such decisions, or have you ever traveled for business before, or have you ever traveled in the field of medicine? So have you ever worked with medical workers before? So that's why they make so important, or they remark especially the expression with the present perfect, have you ever, alguna vez has previamente hecho esto. So the reason why this expression is so important is because in interviews and when you are having relations, or when you are working, or when you are having a conversation with co-workers, this expression, like in real life, appear a lot of time. Have you ever done this before? Have you ever made these formal kind of emails? Okay, and then the possible answer is, well, I have never worked in this area before, but I am right now doing a course in order to improve or to implement my skill in this area. And then also they are going to make a special importance in the expressions since, for, also in the expression until. Since, creo que os lo he dicho en clases anteriores, pero bueno, da igual. Since significa desde, pero también quiero hacer una mención respecto a since. Since, perdonad, cuando lo veáis con expresiones de tiempo significa desde, es decir, si yo digo since February, desde febrero, o how long have you been in this post, ¿cuánto tiempo usted ha estado en este tipo de posición dentro del trabajo? And you can say, well, since last year, desde el año pasado. Es decir, en términos generales, since va a significar desde, pero si vosotros encontráis, you find out, si encontráis, that since is not with a temporal expression, que since no está con una expresión temporal, es porque since también significa ya que. De tal manera que si yo digo, well, I didn't go to the meetings since one of my sons was in the hospital. So, no fui a la reunión ya que since one of my sons, uno de mis hijos, was in the hospital, for example. So since is desde with temporal expressions, but if you find since between two different sentences, in this case, this means ya que. Remember also for. For is durante. So if you say for 3 years, durante 3 años, for 7 years, durante 7 años. Y aquí hay personas que me hacen la pregunta de cuál es la diferencia entre for y during. During significa también durante, pero during solo se utiliza con expresiones como during Christmas, durante la Navidad, during Easter, durante la Semana Santa, during the meeting, durante el meeting, o la reunión. Entonces, for es cuando, digamos, sean periodos que son cuantitativos, pero para que lo entendáis vosotros, que no tienen un nombre específico. For 3 months, for 7 minutes, for 7 years, for 2 centuries. Vale. Mientras que during, que significa lo mismo, siempre va con expresiones temporales, pero digamos que vienen enmarcadas con un nombre. During Christmas, durante la Navidad, during the meeting, durante la reunión, during the summer, durante el verano, during my birthday, durante mi cumpleaños, during the meeting, durante el meeting. So they mean the same, but there is a certain difference in the usage. Okay, so also today, and as a part of the unit 4, practically during all the unit 4, they are talking about topics or ideas related with business, management, but also traveling reasons why you have to travel when you are working for a company or when you are working for a factory for business reasons. Okay, so also we are going to talk about vocabulary and expressions directly related with the travel itself. Okay, documents, reasons why you travel, vocabulary and expressions you can use when you are in an airport, when you get to a hotel. So I think son situaciones muy prácticas, not only if you are working in a business situation or traveling, but also in your real life, because everybody in our real life, we have traveled already, we have already traveled, or we are going to travel. And when you go to the train station in another country, or when you go to the airport, or when you arrive to a hotel, there are certain vocabulary, certain expressions you are going to deal with. So remember again that it's important the present perfect and the expressions for, durante, since, desde o ya que, until, hasta, and ago. Ago also means hace X tiempo, and ago goes at the end of the sentence, va al final de la frase, and only with the past simple. Also, we are going to see a video about business traveling, so a situation of a businesswoman, businessman who has to travel in a business situation, and we are going to see well, vocabulary with subtitles about the situation of traveling, going to different airports, reasons why you go to business traveling. And of course, I'm going to explain to you the third task. En realidad voy a empezar introducing the third task for you, okay? So as we have already finished the second task, it's time to begin. It's time to start with the last of the task, with the third task. So I'm going to make a revision of everything we have done with the different tasks, and then I'm going to concentrate in the third task that you can begin or you can start doing. Okay, so let me to show the a second, guys. Let me to give me a second. I know I have, but 1 second. Here. Okay. Okay, if you remember, and of course you do, we have been doing 2 different tasks in this English one, or the first English of the 2 English you have. And this was the beginning of starting a business. So if you remember, until this moment, hasta this moment, hasta este momento, we have already created, or we have already done the first one, which was create your own company or create your own business. The number 1, which was a presentation or an infographic or a poster about at least 5 or worker profiles you potentially need for your factory or for your business. And the last one is going to be about the organization and management you have in your business. Okay, so in this third task, organization and management, so okay, so you will create the different levels you have in your organization. So the CEO, CEO, or the person who is in charge of all the business, which is exactly the same as the head of a company, the head of a company, or the chief of a company, and the CEO, CEO is the same. So it's the person in charge of usually all the business or an important part of the business. But apart from the CEO, CEO, we have different head managers. So people who are in control, people who are in charge of, en la responsabilidad, in charge of, o a cargo de, in charge of the different departments. Obviously, this will depend on the class or on the kind of business or company you have. If you have a huge, big international company or business, you will need different head of different departments. If you have a more modest, a more humble, a more simple business, probably you can find 2 or 3 departments, and perhaps in each one of these departments you can have 1 or 2 people. So everything will depend on the situation you have in your factory. So also, apart from the head managers, you can tell me the departments you have. I say again, it depends of the complexity or simplicity of your business or company. Also department managers, and also the different team workers of the department. Obviously, when we have talked about working, obviously you can do your work individually and more in present companies and present business. We are all the time co-working or working with different teams. For example, I am a simple teacher, but in UNIR, I tell you this example, we are at the same time a lot of people working and collaborating in different teams. So no matter the work you have or the work you are going to have in your future, one of the most important points they are going to think are relevant is that you are able to work individually, but at the same time that you are a friendly person, an efficient person who is able to work, who can work with other people in different work groups or teams. Okay, so what do you have to do in this task? Well, the student, you will create by means of a poster the general organization of the company, talking very briefly, talking shortly, in short, about the different duties, about the different responsibilities, about the different tasks, about the different works you have to do as a CEO, as the general management, as the worker in a concrete department. So more or less, what will you have to do is something like this. Okay, so tell me the organization in a mural or in an infographic or in a kind of presentation as you consider is better for you and for me to see the structure and to see the organization of your business. So in general terms, cuando digo in general terms, o generally speaking, lo que estoy diciendo es in general. So in general terms, generally speaking, in general, so it's important to know if you have a CEO or perhaps you can have one CEO, but at the same time you have two different CEO in France and another in Italy. So there is a general CEO, the person who is in charge of everything, and then perhaps you have another 2 or 3 CEO if you have an international business, or if you have a national business, you have another one in the province of Almeria, you have another one in the province of Barcelona, and you have another one in Madrid, for example. Also, you can have, apart from these CEOs, a general manager, and this general manager can be the coordination, can be the person who put and keep in contact the CEOs and the different head of the different departments. So it's the person who talks with the CEOs and at the same time gives the answers or gives the messages to the rest of the managers of the different departments. So also you can tell me the departments you have, and perhaps 2 ideas of how they work, and the average workers and the profiles of the workers that work in the different departments. So this exercise or this task can be as simple or as complex your company or your business is. Guys, if you, well, of you, de vosotros, tengo todo tipo de business, es decir, hay gente que hace business muy complejos, en las que tiene que participar muchas personas, y otros que obviamente, como en la vida misma, tienen business que hay pues 4 personas. Entonces, en ese caso, lógicamente, habrá un CEO, vamos a llamarlo así, o un box, que ahora ya no se dice, ya la palabra jefe está como, queda más elegante decir CEO, o the head of the company, porque antes era boss, B-O-S-S. Antes, no hace tiempo, no hace mucho tiempo, hace, vamos a decir, 12 años, no había CEOs, había boxes, B-O-S-S-E-S o B-O-S-S. Pero claro, tenían esa connotación del jefe que llega y que ahora seguramente sea igual, pero bueno, queda más elegante, more formal, más fino, en definitiva. So, lo que os estaba diciendo, hay gente que tiene business muy complejos y otros que tenéis unos business, pues lógicamente, pues igual de corte simplemente provincial, que tenéis pues 2 consultorios de estética, uno en Madrid y otro en Zaragoza. Bueno, pues eso ya cada uno, y bueno, pues necesitáis un médico esteticista y luego pues una persona, yo qué sé, un fisioterapeuta y luego una esteticien o un esteticien. Bueno, esto ya depende de las circunstancias personales de cada negocio. So what you have to do is, in an infography or in a presentation, what is the organization, the formal organization of your company, and a brief idea, a short idea of what these people have to do. Okay, so this is what you have to do. So I tell you again, a student will create by means of a poster the general organization of the company, talking briefly about the duties of each one of the person. Okay, so now I'm going to be more, y ahora voy a ser más específica about what you have to do. Give me a second. Okay. So in conclusion, and regarding relating the second of the task, the third of the task, sorry. Okay, so what you have to do, the title is Organization and Management. So the idea is that you have already created your company, your business. Besides is in addition to this, además, besides, in addition to this, you have created in this second task the suitable profile for the kind of workers you are looking for. So it's time to define. So it's time to define in the activity 3 or the task number 3, define how the company works. So we have created the business, you have created the company, your own business. Second step is that, well, what kind of workers I need with this kind of qualifications, this kind of experience, this kind of skills, this kind of capabilities, able or capable of speaking different languages, sociable, with this master or with this specific course, good at communication levels, well, these kind of things. So now it's time to define how your business, how your company works. So it says, as the head of the manager, because you are the CEO, as the head of the manager, you will define along with another managers the different levels of responsibility and the departments which will be necessary for a smooth. Recordad que os he dicho que run smoothly es que todo, run como correr, run smoothly es que todo funciona bien. Es decir, when you are talking in business terms, cuando habláis en términos de negocios y decís, well, everything runs correctly or everything runs smoothly, eso significa que todo marcha bien, todo funciona correctamente. Y recordad también, por si acaso, he escrito a tantos grupos, perdonadme que yo creo que lo digo en todos, pero por si acaso, que si os encontráis la palabra run, en sentido, run como correr en business, significa dirigir algo. Es decir, si tú dices, when at this moment we are running two companies, significa, bueno, pues en este momento estamos dirigiendo dos compañías diferentes o estamos al mando de dos compañías diferentes. Y luego run smoothly significa que todo parece que funciona correctamente. Okay, so if you say to your CEO, everything is running smoothly by the moment, es que todo funciona correctamente hasta este momento. As the head manager of your company, because you are the head manager or you are the CEO or you are the general manager, you will define along with other people the different levels. The different levels is los diferentes niveles, the different levels of responsibility and the departments which will be necessary for a smooth running smoothly and fluid functioning, functioning and working is the same of the whole company. Due to this reason, due to es debido a. No solo due to, podemos decir debido a también because of. Es decir, si vosotros queréis decir debido a esta razón, debido a esta circunstancia, debido a este retraso, podéis decir due to this situation, due to this delay, or because of this situation, because of this delay. Due to this reason, it is basic to clarify the way the employees are going to coordinate each other and the hierarchy proposed. So all of us, la jerarquía, todos nosotros tenemos que saber quiénes son las personas a las que tenemos que acudir en circunstancias. So in my case, I have a top person who is with me all the time if I have technical problems, if I have problems, for example, at the time of creating exams, I have another person and another teacher to coordinate. If I have the general ideas, the general dates, the general programming, I have to deal with Alberto. So I know know what is my hierarchy and I have more complex, or for example, if I have a problem with one of you, a problem of I didn't see something, or I cannot find something, I have your tutor. So I know my hierarchy. I don't understand hierarchy. I don't understand hierarchy like you are superior and you are inferior. Yo no la entiendo así. I understand hierarchy like, well, I am this person, I am here, and I need these people in order to do my work correctly. Okay, so important to know by means of your infographic or by means of your poster what is the hierarchy, so what is the kind of coordination the different employers have. So to sum up is, para finalizar o para ser breves, to sum up, you have your own company or your own business. You have already defined in this second task the profile of your main workers. So now it's time to create the organization, the general organization, and the ways to manage the company in general terms, generally speaking. So for each one of the persons or for each one of the departments, you have to esbozarme the 2 or 3 things this person or that department is in charge of. Okay, so the general explanation, students will create a company and up to 3 products or services. This is clear. This company will be the one they use for the rest of the course, this course and the second course, composed by 3 tasks. At the end of the next course, 6 different tasks. So remember, the student creates, for example, a poster showing the different management hierarchy, head managers, main departments, department managers, team workers, and the section will include the way you have the organization of your company. Okay, so that's why in the presentation you will create by means of a poster or by means of an infographic or by means of a presentation. This is totally free for you. The organization of your company, talking in each one of the person in your company, telling the main task, es decir, las personas que aparezcan, los departamentos que aparezcan, decirme con 2 ideas de qué se hacen cargo y, por ejemplo, si tienes 2 personas, qué tareas, pero en breve, 2 o 3 tareas tienen encomendadas. About the different roles, responsibilities and duties, both departments and individuals, we have to develop in general terms. So, para dejarlo claro, solo es una infografía o solo es un póster digital. So no hay que grabar nada, no hay que hacer ningún vídeo, okay? So what is going to be the criteria in order to assess, in order to evaluate you? Well, details on the poster, that the poster or the presentation is very clear to increase, in this case, my understanding. But imagine that you have to present the organization of your company of other people. All graphics or all the things you include in your poster have to be related to the topic we are talking about and make it easier to understand. For example, the hierarchy. So the information you give that is going to be brief, it has to be very organized with clear titles. For example, accountability department. So they are in charge of the economy of the company. And I have 2 different workers, an economist and I don't know, a human resources person, for example. So all information on the poster is in focus and can be easily viewed and identified, and the brief things you have to write shouldn't have non-grammatical spelling or punctuation errors. So this will create the 10, okay? So chicos, ¿es claro lo que tenéis que hacer en esta tercera tarea? Si no me decís nada, sigo adelante. Vale, gracias, David. Okay, so guys, as I have already told you today, give me a second, please. Today, Today we are going to begin the unit 4, and in this unit 4, we are going to talk about business and traveling. So these two main ideas, business and traveling. So I'm going to share with you I'm going to share with you, one second, please. Okay, I'm going to share with you skills for business, business travel, okay? Because the unit 4 that we are beginning today is about this kind of thing. So business travel and also skills. Skills are your capacities at the time of having to deal with business situations, okay? So the first thing, thinking about travel. So some questions you can think about. For example, the first one is, guys, you boys, girls, how often do you travel abroad? Abroad is different countries. How often do you travel abroad for work, for fun? So here you can tell me, well, Rachel, I have never traveled abroad. I have never traveled abroad for work, but I have traveled abroad for fun, for visiting London, for visiting France, for visiting Egypt. So how do you feel? What are your sensations when you go abroad, when you go to different countries and you see or you know a new culture? Do you feel nervous? Do you feel interested? So they are ideas you have that you can do. For example, if you are working for an international company and your sensations when going abroad are negative, you don't like new cultures, and you feel nervous, perhaps this is not your place. But if you feel interested, you feel happy of going abroad to work, and you like new cultures, this is your perfect place. What do you miss? Miss is echar de menos. What do you miss most about your culture when you go abroad? You can say, well, perhaps the meal, or perhaps the contact, the daily contact with my family, or because it's a different weather, or well, it's difficult to be all the time communicated in German, sorry, or in French. Okay. If you could go anywhere in the world, so in your case, where would you like to go? Well, it depends if it is for work or it is for fun. So it is, if I have to go abroad for working, well, I can go to France, or I can go to Bordeaux, or I can go to Rome, or I can go to Brighton. But perhaps if you think about traveling for fun, you're going to tell me, well, I would prefer to go to the Bahamas, or I would prefer to go to the mountains. Well, these kind of things. Have you ever, this is one of the most important expressions in your lesson. So, ¿alguna vez has experimentado, experienced any problems when traveling? Okay, so 6 steps for business travel. Okay, so 6 pasos for business travel. So give me a second. So deciding to travel, first, there is always a reason to travel to another country or a city. So what kind of reasons can we have for business travel? Well, the reasons why we have to do business travel, obviously, is because you have to meet foreign colleagues or co-workers, because you have to go abroad, you have to go to other country, because you have to attend to a conference or to event, or because you are visiting a customer, a client, un cliente, or a supplier. So when you decide to do a travel, or when you have to do a business travel, there are different reasons for this decision. Perhaps you have a meeting in another country with other co-workers, you have to attend a conference or event, or you have to visit a customer, to meet a customer, a client, or a supplier. Suppliers son las personas que os dan los materiales que necesitáis potencialmente para cada una de vuestras factorías. So second reasons, or second circumstance or situation, making bookings. Make bookings is obviously a reservation. So in English, you're going to find also all the time, majority bookings, but also you can say reservations, okay? So we need to make bookings and arrangements. What kind of things do we need to organize a business travel? Passports and visas, sorry. Accommodations is the place where you are going to sleep. Accommodation is the place where you are going to sleep, hotels. And of course, you need your flights for traveling by plane, your train tickets, your taxis, your Ubers, whatever, and the time and place for the meetings, or the tickets for going to an event or attend to a place. So first, possible reasons to travel, then making bookings. Next one, preparing your travel. When you are preparing your travel, next we need to prepare the trip. So what kind of things do we need to prepare? Not only for the traveling, but especially for a business travel. Meeting agendas, so you have to have in your mind clearly what is the date and the time, the organization you have to follow when you go to have a meeting with people from other places. Expectations from the trip. So you go to make a meeting, or you go to an event, or you have or you are going to meet a customer with which objectives, con qué objetivos. So you have to know the objectives of that business trip. And of course, you have to pack your luggage, pack your suitcase, hacer las maletas, and what is important to take. So here there are different situations. If there is a dress code, si hay un código de vestidos, dress code, it will depend on the culture, what kind of weather you are going to have, if you have to go to business lunch, or if you at the same time you are going to do free activities, leisure activities. So you have to have clear everything, the agendas, the expectations. So what are your objectives at the time of doing your meetings, going to different events, having conversations with your clients, and packing your luggage depending on what you are going to see. So traveling, so we are traveling. Who might we speak to while we are traveling, or what kind of questions you can be asked when traveling? So obviously you have to talk with the airline staff. Airline staff is when you have problems with your luggage, or when you have problems with your air tickets, you have to talk with the airline staff. If you are in a train station, with the railway staff. If you are in a hotel, you have to talk to the hotel receptionist. If you are asking for a meal, a restaurant staff, and obviously taxi drivers, Uber drivers, or if you have to download a kind of app for your traveling, okay? Attending an event or attending a meeting. So next we attend to the meeting, or we go to the event. What kind of things we have to have in mind when going to a meeting or when going to an event? So who are you meeting? So you are meeting, te vas a encontrar with a CEO, with a manager, with the different people in a concrete department. So you have to have clear in your mind the people you are going to have the meeting with. So what do you expect from the meeting? So if you go to a meeting to another country, you have to point your objectives, the other people also, the objectives of this meeting clearly specified, because in this way you're going to be efficient, you're going to be fast, you know what you're going to do, and everything is going to run smoothly. Okay, so what do I need to do? So for example, perhaps I have to do a presentation of the new project, or I have to do a presentation for my client, or I have to present my services or the things I am able or my company is able to do. Or if I go to an event or I go to a conference, so what I want to see in this international conference, what are the sessions I am interested in? And what next steps you should have in mind? Well, when you return from the flight, or when you return from the trip, or when you return from the meeting, you have to bear in mind what are going to be your future relationships with the client or the supplier. Also, what actions you are going to carry on after the meeting. Also, if you go to a conference, the takeaways is what are the things are relevant for my business and I can put into practice in my business. And also it's important when you are returning the contacts you have been able to make. So as we only have 5 minutes, here, some questions you can ask yourself is, do I really need to travel? Or it's easier to do a video conference? Do I really need to attend this event? So sometimes, guys, it's necessary to have a presential class. Por ejemplo, yo, evidentemente, las clases de la UNIR son online y cada vez más universidades, incluso centros de secundaria y bachillerato, están haciendo clases online, pero sí que es verdad que si yo os viera cara a cara y vosotros me vieseis cara a cara a mí, pues seguramente nos diésemos una impresión, bueno, pues sería como más, es decir, yo cuando leyera vuestras cosas, etcétera, aunque intento hacerlo, pero es diferente, chicos. Es decir, os tendría en mente y diría, ah, sí, tal, tú que eras de Albacete, tal. Bueno, yo qué sé. So, it's necessary the presential meeting or only an online meeting is enough? Perhaps most of the meetings can be online, but I think it's necessary to have from time to time a presential situation, because it's important to meet each other. So also it's important to know what are the advantages of attending to a meeting or event in person. I think it's important from time to time, not very often, but it's important. And why? Because meeting in persons are generally easier. Yes, it's true. It's easier to communicate. There are no technological problems. You have an opportunity or a chance to socialize, to build relationships with colleagues, co-workers, with clients, with customers, with suppliers. So you make the effort to go, and you have the chance to meet new contacts that are going to be important for the future. Okay, so what is the person who is going to book your travel, your vacation? But usually your secretary or assistant, or you yourself, tú mismo, the company travel website, myself, online, in person, or perhaps you are going to contact or to book these things by means of a travel agent. So when you are, imagine that you call a travel agent to book a flight. So it's important the date and time you want to travel, if you want economy or business class, if you go window or aisle is pasillo, if you have a ticket of one way es solo de ida, or you want a return trip, que es ida o vuelta, and how will you pay for the tickets, okay? So important phrases or words. Can I book? Could I reserve? I'd like to book. A ver, me gustaría reservar para este día, para esta fecha. Can I book for this date, for this time? Could I reserve? I'd like to book a ticket to London, a one-way to London, or return flight, because ida y vuelta, return flight, ida y vuelta to London. I would like to book, or can I book a taxi or a room? Okay, so if we are talking about hotels, would you prefer a single room, para ti solo, a double room with breakfast included, first class, economy class, a window seat? Okay, so this would be, and this is for you to have because I'm going to upload esta tarde, chicos, os voy a subir las cosas esta tarde, porque yo ahora tengo clases hasta las 2 de la tarde, entonces a partir de las 5 os subiré todo a Moodle. So you are going to find all these things, a conversation that you can have with a travel agent, okay, for example, or another, this is for you to see, so another conversation with a travel agent to book a trip, okay, and also some vocabulary you can find when you are traveling: lost your luggage, culture shock, overbooking, delays, retrasos, jet lag, visa issues, problemas con tu visa, cancellations, getting lost, crime, delitos, long lines, esperar mucho tiempo. So here you have an exercise to do it, and also you have here en las siguientes fichas tenéis los resultados, es decir, las respuestas. So so knowing this, guys, knowing this, one second. Okay, so knowing all these things, second, please. Okay, guys, so this evening I'm going to upload you not only the task number 3, how to do it, this PowerPoint with exercises, but also I'm going to upload the video in relation with traveling for business reasons. I'm going to upload some exercises about the present perfect, have you ever, I have never, for and since. And I think that's all, if I don't remember bad. Okay, so next day we will talk about not only business traveling, but also the kind of departments and the kind of organization you can have when traveling. And also today I'm going to upload you a reading test similar to the one you are going to have in the exam, which is related with meetings. And also I'm going to upload listening, which is related with a conversation when you are traveling and you are doing a reservation for traveling. Okay, guys, so espero que tengáis una buena semana. Como os he dicho al principio, empezaré a subiros las notas. Creo que el lunes ya las tendré, lunes, martes, todas corregidas, todas las tareas, y esta tarde, no ahora, porque ahora empiezo otra clase, os subiré todos, no solo lo que hemos visto hoy, sino también os subo vídeos, listening y readings en relación con todo. Muchas gracias a todos, chicos, por ser tan puntuales, por ser tan fieles a la clase en directo, bueno, porque yo he hecho también y hago másters online y a veces pues me es imposible, o a veces pues me es posible, pero me viene mejor pues ver la clase el sábado por la tarde. Bueno, en cualquier caso, buen fin de semana a todos y gracias por asistir a mis clases. Espero que os sean de cierto provecho. Un saludo.